So, welcome to Network Special. Well, you want to do all that? You want to do the intro?
No, go for it.
You're
You're
the
doing
best.
great.
You're the best intro.
You were doing great up until you stopped yourself.
I know. I'm too
Can't
insecure.
doubt yourself.
I'm too insecure.
You're like Robin Williams in Hook.
Or more appropriately, I'm like the main characters of the thing we watch.
Oh Lord, yeah. What an arc they go through. What do they watch? What are they listening to? Our listeners are so confused right now. What is this I have? Why am I listening to it? This thing that I clicked on intentionally.
They probably didn't even read the episode title. They just blindly hit play, and the first podcast that showed up was ours. That they've no doubtedly subscribed to already.
Well, keep going.
I got nothing. I was
do the intro.
I got no intro. I told you I've got nothing. I'm not the intro guy.
My Lord.
I'm the freaking,
you're gonna make me drink.
I got nothing. I can't even say what I am.
Oh man.
I can't even introduce myself.
Thank goodness you're doing this in the audio form.
My name's Nathan.
My name's Zachariah. You're listening.
And this is Network Special. You're supposed to do it at the same time. I thought that was the...
We've never done it at the same time.
I know, but that was such a setup. That's on you, not me this time.
You're right. And because we're talking about things played on TV that were only supposed to be played once. And now, thanks to the internet, we all get to see them again and again and critique them.
That's right. It's called Network Special.
That's right. For the fourth time, it's Network Special. Don't forget the name.
For the first time ever, his hits will bring Halloween to life. Just follow the music. Starring the voices of Christine Baranski, Alan Cumming, Brad Garrett, George Eads, Lucas Till, Lucy Liu, and Jim Parsons. Fun! Don't miss the world premiere event.
Wow.
And today we're going to be talking about Halloween, the month of October. We're going to be talking about our favorite Halloween specials, our favorite spooky specials, our favorite scary specials. And we're talking about the scariest musician in America, Michael Jackson.
Depending on what role you had in his life, the scarier he would be.
That's right.
Michael Jackson's Halloween, which was made in 2017, which you guessed it was after his death.
You guessed it.
Yes, it's a CGI.
Well, wait. Should we talk about ground rules for this, like Michael Jackson? I feel like we need to just say, get it out of the way.
Just a disclaimer up front.
Just a disclaimer up front.
Okay. Each of us, at a count of three, will both say either guilty or not guilty. Just kidding.
The reason I feel like we need to have a disclaimer is because from watching a bunch of his stuff again on YouTube, it's incredible how... did you read the comments underneath most of these videos? 80% of them seem to be not guilty.
Oh, yeah, because anyone commenting on a YouTube video... that's I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah. And
I comment about 0 out of 100 times.
Oh, really? Okay.
maybe once or twice. I rarely comment. But the comments are for just obsessive thinkers of this guy. I don't know.
Okay. Or people who you think deliberately go there to spread the gospel of his innocence.
It's like either old super fans who are they just comment on everything, or it's like young people who found a Michael Jackson album in their parents' collection and just became obsessed and could never buy into a story like that, or you know.
Right.
That's probably truly who most of the comments are. That and old people who figured out the internet,
Boo, old people.
Those 50-year-olds.
So we're not going to be talking about his sexual allegations just because that's a whole nother topic that I am certainly no expert in.
That's a whole other network special that
Yes.
we probably will not do.
We're waiting for that January, that sweet, sweet January famine to go into our ideas on the case. But at one time, I would say that we both were not maybe obsessive, but Michael Jackson was one of my number one go-to musicians. He was kind of the first current pop musician that I listened to because I grew up in a household. I had no older siblings. I really didn't pal around with many other kids because I was homeschooled. So I would hear like musicians my parents would listen to, or
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Jackson Brown.
Jackson Brown.
Jefferson Airplane, the 80s version.
A lot of Starship. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Is that right? And Janis Joplin.
Yeah, a lot of Big Brother. No, I was listening to a lot of like, Beatles and Led Zeppelin or whatever, like my parents were really into. But Michael Jackson, I found because of his crazy movie Moonwalker, which I got out of the library. It's a perfect musician video for a child because the whole thing is animation and robots and like kids running around, which sounds horrible now. But it's a very child focused video.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm interested in stuff like that now of kids going on adventures. And so as a kid, just even 100% more, and all of his stuff was so child focused. God, this is in like
in hindsight, yes.
Like obviously, like I know everyone always acts like, oh, you didn't already know.
Everyone didn't know.
But it's like, screw you. But it's like, so like, let's just say that like 2 or 3 years ago, all of this conversation would be innocent. But it's not anymore.
Because when we say childlike or child focused, it's not. I'm thinking of Moonwalker here, where it's not like you have lingering shots of children where it feels creepy, like voyeuristic or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Like if you watch like Bryan Singer movies, or I've seen some things where after the fact you learn that the person was a pedophile or just like way too into kids, you can go, oh, that's why it's filmed like that. Oh, that's why the hero of the story is always taking his shirt off. Like that kind of a thing will happen. With Michael Jackson, I more mean the plot of Moonwalker sounds like a child describing his dream. Right. It's like, I was walking through a field and I stopped all the drugs and then I turned into a robot and then I turned into a spaceship and I was the hero and everyone loved me.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, none of his that's what I was thinking about when I was watching some of this stuff, is that he was such a positive performer and his stuff was so innocent that it sucks that all of this is true. Like just sucks so much. You take off that one piece and everything is fine.
I feel like that's true up until the Dangerous album.
Okay.
Because then I think things are still weirdly innocent, but they feel weird and forced. And I don't know if that's because he wasn't changing and the times were, or this is because this was a capital A adult man who, just by the necessity of him being a physical being, like was going through things that an older person would, but processing it like how a 10-year-old would.
Yeah, I mean, he's losing his mind. Like
that's a very good point. He is losing his mind, and he's losing people around him who might once in a great while say no to him.
Yeah, like Quincy Jones or whatever.
Yeah, or like, I mean, the people who would make his videos, like John Landis or George Lucas or people like that, I'm sure they ran a fairly tight ship, even though they had to.
People who are already famous in their own right.
Yes.
Who aren't happy to be making something for Michael Jackson.
Right.
I think what I was trying to say was that when you look at, like what you were saying about when you look at the media and you feel creepy after you find out, like, Woody Allen movies and stuff, you're like, oh God, these are all disgusting after you acknowledge that he was a gross guy.
Right.
But like with him, like it seems like the only stuff that I really thought, like when you watch the documentaries and all that stuff, it's really just about the fact that he was hanging out with little boys and like there's pictures of him with his hands on their thighs and stuff. Like that's all the stuff we should have like the media wasn't telling the story. The photos were like his life was.
Yeah, I think the fact that it was like sick kids or celebrity kids was the thing that kind of like skated it by. Well, we're certainly not getting into it, right?
No. Like we said, we're not going to be talking about this. So get that out of your mind.
But I guess we do kind of have to talk about it up front because we're going to be talking about two huge, well, I don't know if the second one was a huge event. It got good ratings. But the first thing we're going to be talking about was a huge event in television. And that was the premiere of Michael Jackson's Black or White video in November of 1991.
Yeah. So this is you guys are in for a real treat. This is our first double episode where we talk about two things instead of one.
You're welcome.
You are.
Hope you have a long car ride. Or you're going to spend a little extra time on the treadmill.
Yeah. You need it.
Hey.
Sorry. So yeah, let's just do this. Let's just freaking jump into
this. Let's just do this.
Michael Jackson's Halloween.
I'm not holding you back. Well, wait. What do you want to talk about Black or White first, going chronological? Or are you just so excited to talk about Let's do the video first.
Okay. I was going in order of how I watched them.
Well,
so I have no.
I would say that's not how most people experience life.
That's true. You mean through the eyes of my viewing habits?
Yes.
So Black or White, you want to talk about the premiere of it? Like, I think you might have a greater grasp on that.
Maybe, although as since we were talking about it beforehand, maybe I don't. I remembered this. So I was 11 years old when this came out. It was the height of my Michael Jackson mania. I was sitting on my living room floor with my little fedora and my sparkly glove on, clapping.
Were you really?
No.
Okay, for God's sake. I would not put it past you. That's what I mean. Like that sounds like something you would do today if he released a new video.
I would probably do it today.
Yeah.
At the time, I was really looking forward to it. This was his big comeback. He had not made any music since the Bad album. He was on the cover of TV Guide. This was going to be the most expensive music video ever made. It was directed by John Landis, who directed Thriller. Big event, and it was being simulcast on how many networks?
It was like 4 or 5 networks, but it was in something like 60 countries or something too, something crazy.
Okay.
But Fox was the one that I really remember watching it on.
Yes, and I remember I conflated this with, first it was the premiere of Do the Bartman music video, and then the premiere of Black or White, which would have been serious hubris on behalf of Fox.
Yeah.
I remembered it wrong because if you were watching it on Fox, who but the Bartman himself, Bart Simpson, introduced his main man, his words, not mine, Michael Jackson. And the intro, it's a really weird. And I remember being weird when I was a little kid because it's Bart Simpson dancing around like Michael Jackson, talking about how much he loves Michael Jackson, and 3 characters are dancing behind him that you have never seen before. With Bart Simpson's introduction out of the way, we then go to the premiere of the music video, and this music video it violently throws you around in terms of the audience it seems to be made for, in terms of the tone that it's conveying, because it starts out like a bad Saturday morning cartoon.
It's like a Twisted Sister video.
Yeah, but it's Twisted
like,
Sister.
Literally.
Yeah, very literally. It's Twisted Sister for Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Because it's Macaulay Culkin and is it not George Raft? Who's playing the dad?
George Wendt.
George Wendt playing the dad. And Macaulay Culkin is playing that Michael Jackson / record. Slash is doing guitar on only the intro that people talk over, not the song. Very strange.
What is that music that's playing?
It's original music for the song. Like the weird
on the album?
The intro, yes.
Okay.
It's not Macaulay Culkin doing the vocals, but there's this whole unskippable intro that you have to sit through on the CD of a kid and a dad yelling about turning his music down.
That's on the CD?
Yes. Did you not have this album?
Of course I did. I just don't remember. You know what? I don't know if I actually had the album as a kid.
Okay.
I've had it since as an adult, but I haven't.
It was so irritating pushing down that fast forward button through this intro. And the music that he's listening to sounds like, quote, rock music. Like you would put it as filler in a movie when you were editing it or something.
It's like when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will go into a punk club. And that's what the band's playing.
Macaulay Culkin is told to turn his music down. He turns his music down all right, but then he breaks out his guitar, hauls out a huge Back to the Future style amplifier, turns the volume up to "Are you nuts?" level, and then by strumming his guitar, blasts his father out of the house into the universe.
Into Africa.
Right into Africa.
Yeah. I
was watching this, of course, with my parents. I let them live with me at the time as 11. I remember
you did emancipate yourself from them, but you still allowed them to live with you.
Yes. I remember being so. I know that people use the term cringy a lot now. I remember actively cringing watching the intro because I thought it was so corny.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Zachariah has an old soul at this age. His cynicism came on way before his puberty.
It also may be a good point to say I hated the movie Home Alone.
Okay, yeah.
So if that paints a picture,
he thought it was
you.
too trite.
So we have this very cartoony beginning, and then the video becomes very earnest. We drop out of the Macaulay Culkin Went-verse immediately.
Yeah.
And it's Michael Jackson singing Black or White. I will go on the record, a great song. I love, maybe one of my top 3 of his songs. I sing it at karaoke all the time to wild acclaim. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about the karaoke, Nathan. Most of the time, they do not include the rap lyrics for the little the TV that you sing along with. But guess who has them memorized? That's right.
That's right.
It's right.
You.
It's me.
You. Mm-hmm.
It's me, everyone. Standing O.
But wait, is it just an instrumental?
Yes.
So
it's just a long instrumental that you can rap over, but the lyrics aren't on the screen. It's very strange.
So what? So it just says freestyle in parentheses.
It says go for it.
Yeah.
Well, they also, do you remember like on adult contemporary stations, they would play this song, but they would cut the rap out?
Oh yeah, that's like the most racist.
It really is
that they could have done. Like VH1 would do stuff like that all the time. Because
I remember stations that would promise you in their promos, no rap, we guarantee it. Do we want to talk about the plot of this? I guess, yeah, we were talking about the video. Sure, why not? We're going across the globe. Why don't you take over? I've been waxing on about this thing.
So people often talk about how they can speak 4 or 5 different languages. Well, Michael Jackson can dance 4 or 5 different cultural dances. So he's doing like Russian dances and Indian dances and Native American dances, and I don't say that twice. I'm talking about India and Native America.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like I don't know. There's not much more than him just doing dances to different cultures, and then
you go around the globe. I guess Macaulay Culkin does come back because Macaulay Culkin lip syncs the rap.
Yeah, we're back into the Culkin verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does the rap along with members from Another Bad Creation.
But they do not rap, right?
No, they're
just bopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Macaulay Culkin looks like he is on Quaaludes.
Is that one of the things that kids can get easily in Hollywood at that age?
Well, do you think that was him acting like he was directed to act cool? And Macaulay Culkin was such a bad actor, he just like stopped emoting at all.
I mean, he doesn't really have facial expressions except for his eyebrows can go up and down.
What about when he screams?
Yeah, his eyebrows go up.
Oh,
but
okay.
Other than that, nothing else changes. He's like Leonardo DiCaprio. It's just all eyebrows. Or no, the reverse. Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't have eyebrows.
It's all jowls.
Yeah, that's right. His eyes stay exactly the same. The opposite. Culkin is like, no, they said, here, put this stuff on and then do a rap. And so he's like your average, what's the Steve Buscemi, like, hello, fellow teens or something like from Saturday Night Live. Yeah. It's just like, this is what rappers do is they put their arms across. He's like Bugs Bunny in Space Jam.
He is. He's dressed exactly like him.
Yeah.
A little backwards ball cap with no logo on it.
Yeah, and the story of the guy who does the actual rap is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
In the original version, which was the karaoke version, there was no rap there. And I think maybe that's where the karaoke sourced. They had the original scores. And then so he's listening back. He's like a producer on the song or something, and he's listening back to it, and he's like, we got to put something here. So he writes a rap, and he raps it as like a temporary fill-in, sends it to Michael Jackson. And then Michael Jackson, being the normalest guy in the world, says, yeah, this is great. This white guy rapping on this is great. And even the guy was like, no, this is horrible. I was like, he's like, I'm embarrassed. I'm not going to be the white guy rapping about being black, which he does.
He tried to get him to use Chuck. He was like, we'll get Chuck D, right? We'll just get Chuck D in.
Yeah, Heavy D.
Or anyone.
It was Heavy D or LL Cool J. They were both in the studio.
That makes more sense because I think I thought it was Chuck D. I was like, boy, it's going to take some convincing.
No, Heavy D.
Okay, he would have definitely done it.
He already did it. He did it in another.
He's in Jam, right?
He's in another song. But he's like, no, you should do it. Somehow it convinced him that since he was white and this song's about black or white, it doesn't matter that was. But yeah, he raps about being black in the song because he says, "I'm not going to live my life being a color, unless you say I'm white as a color." I don't.
That was the first All Lives Matter.
Yeah, you're right. This song is All Lives. Gosh, MJ.
I mean, to his credit, the producer was so weirded out by it that he took his name off of the credit of being the rapper because I had spent a long time trying to figure out who this rapper was. It was only very recently, like Vice published that story.
Yes, I know. It's always freaking Vice.
Some scumbag was doing a ton of acid next to him, and they had their stenographer's notes out.
Yeah, he was in the middle of a war zone in Zimbabwe, and he took time out to find out who the rapper was on Black or White.
Reporting on dildos.
Yeah, in a war
in a guerrilla zone. How much dank kush do you guys smoke?
Yeah, yeah. So that's an interesting story. By the way,
yeah.
So let's just talk about something that I think MJ should be commended for. Very brave, being the first celebrity to openly admit that he has carpal tunnel syndrome by wearing the brace in public.
I forgot. That's how normalized he made things, right? I see that now. I don't even think about the fact that he is wearing a weird arm brace,
right?
For no reason.
I know. Every time I'm at work, I'm like, man, a lot of MJ fans here. Like, oh no, they're just computer programmers.
How did that start? Did he just not know what it was? Like, look at that.
No, gosh, it was probably
My
like
hand gets hot with that glove on. All my fingers can breathe. This long glove.
it feels good on my fingertips. No, it's like, I don't know, how does anything he does get started? How does any of it happen?
I mean, that's why for a while he was a genius, because he just like did whatever floated into that brain of his.
It was like someone was like, he was backstage at a set or something, and someone was putting on like undergarments, like for another costume, and he was like, "Oh, that's a great costume." He's like, "Oh, it's not on yet." And he's like, then he went away, and he's like, "Ooh." I'll show him.
They never started selling the braces, though.
No, they didn't. That didn't catch on as much as the leather jacket, the red leather jacket. So after he dances around the world, they cut to kind of like cutting edge technology of morphing people dancing, and it's just their head and their shoulders. But as they dance, move their head, they slowly morph into other races and sex of gender of people, and then the video ends with
this the same? Oh, this is the same year as T2.
Yeah, that technology had been used in Terminator 2 and one other movie.
Like The Abyss, right? When the water comes to life.
I can't remember what Wikipedia said, but yeah, sure. Whatever, you're the expert.
Willow. It was Willow.
That's right.
When the animals change.
Yeah.
And now Willow looks like a car commercial when that happens.
Yeah,
it's just like boop, boop, boop.
Well, and I think the heads morphing in this
still looks good.
Like when there's one where it's a white guy and he flips his head, and when he turns his head, a ponytail like juts out of his hair.
It's so funny. I was thinking of the same exact shot. That's
my favorite,
flawless
part of it. Yeah, and then he turns back and turns into an Asian woman, but then it ends with us like pulling out like Liberian girl style, where we're actually in the studio, and John Landis says cut, and then the song ends, and he says to the girl who's the last person of the morphing, he says, "How do you do that?"
It's funny.
Yeah, he's making a joke.
Yeah, that's the one funny joke in any Michael Jackson video, and that gives you a hint of how mild they are. Up until now, I would say maybe it's not positive to disparage your parents' taste in volume, but it is a incredibly positive video, right? Like it's the most feel-good 90s Captain Planet style video you can think of.
And then so we kind of stroll through the studio a little bit. There's a Black Panther there. I'm presuming that the Panther is there for some other production. That's why no one's saying, "Oh my God, there's a Black Panther in here, run."
I think this is supposed to be like your idea of like Hollywood, like people in cowboy costumes are always walking by, people with a flying saucer.
There's an elephant and a camel.
Right, yes. There's
always
an elephant.
There's always a circus production being filmed right next to an Old West production.
The two most popular genres in 80s and 90s movies.
And then the Black Panther leaves the studio and morphs into Michael Jackson, and he's in an alleyway. And this is where the crap goes down. This is where the controversy happens. Michael Jackson starts, and this is where my cringing happened when I was in the room with my parents.
Oh, same for me. Yes, both.
Because he starts basically just masturbating. Like that's all you can. That's how you describe it.
Well, angry masturbating.
Yeah,
screaming, dancing around, and smashing cars.
Yes,
masturbating.
He's vandalizing. He's breaking windows. He's busting the cars. He's touching himself. I don't know how long he doesn't know. Maybe some street tough walked by and said, "Hey, the barn door's open" or something. But he eventually zips up his pants.
Wait. No.
Yes, he zips up his pants. I just watched this.
Wait. Why? Why did I remember that being in a parody?
No, this is real. I know it seems like an In Living Color sketch.
But I think it was in Living Color as well.
It might have been, but he zips his pants up.
Wait, is there like a panther? I should have. I thought I just knew it so well, but I guess I have seen this video a lot. I never rewatched this part because it goes on for what seems like 6 hours.
But you might also be watching versions where they cut some of that stuff.
No, maybe.
I mean, if you're just like, oh, I want to watch the video, and you click on the first link,
right? When he zips his pants up, is there a panther roar?
No, it's a zipper sound.
Okay. It's so strange. And then he turns back into a panther and walks away, correct?
Yeah, after he nuts, I guess. He comes to completion. Yeah, he goes back into a thing and goes away. But he's like, he like breaks a hotel sign. So that was very controversial. And in further, like people were cutting that. There's a lot of controversy. He said, I was looking up why he did that, why he filmed it. He said it was because it was supposed to be like the nature of a panther, like its destructive nature or something. But they did do an alternate version where they CGI'd racist graffiti on the places he breaks. So it looks like he's busting racist graffiti off.
I think they played that version on premiere night.
Well, no, because the N-word is on there. There's like,
yeah,
it's not, because I looked it up. It said that he did this after the fact. It's only on like the DVD version.
Oh,
I think like the VHS version doesn't have it.
Now, do you think so? It was added, like digitally added later.
Yes, it was added afterwards so that he could make it be less violent. I guess like he's supporting vandalism or something.
Was that the? Are you just like guessing?
No, I'm saying exactly what they say. He look up the Wikipedia entry on this. I can go for it right now and describe it exactly.
That's so insane that somebody later on had to suggest something to make it seem less nonsensical.
Right, because it's just it is like, I mean, yeah. It kind of makes sense when you say like, oh yeah, the panther, but I don't think of a panther and think that a panther is just like crazy and destructive. I think of a panther as kind of being more like stealthy and smooth, and you know what I mean. That's why he was saying. So he apologized, saying that the violent and suggestive behavior was an interpretation of the animal instinct of a black panther. So the masturbating and the vandalism was supposed to represent this Black Panther animal instinct. So they would cut that out, and other people cut it out, and then to make it more understandable to viewers, he added the CGI graffiti, and that was
Panthers hate racism.
Yeah, yes, that was included in the box set of Michael Jackson's Vision. It's called Michael Jackson's Vision is aired. Televised version without the graffiti and does not include the Prejudices Ignorance title card. Yeah, like there was a... I don't... you guys can do your own research on this. Jeez. Like the stuff says like Hitler lives and N-word go home and no more wetbacks is on one of the cars. KKK rules. Maybe I should say no more W words. I don't know.
I know that
KKK rules is one of the graffiti. Yeah, because New York, because there was such a huge KKK movement in the gang culture of New York. KKK rules, man.
Also, Hitler lives is maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still, see the thing, it still doesn't work. He still makes it bizarre, like an alien is doing this.
Right. Someone described what American racism was to an alien, and then they're like, just make some graffiti based on this.
Asian, go home.
But yeah, he rezips, it says.
Thank you, Michael.
can't remember where it goes to from there, except I think it just goes straight to The Simpsons. Because it ends with The Simpsons with, Bart Simpson's loving it, and then Homer Simpson's like, turn that down, it's too loud. And then he turns the TV off, and it's the actual video.
Oh, okay.
That's another reason why you probably confused.
Well, I thought they were doing the Bart Man.
Yeah. He tells him to turn off the noise. Bart replies, chill out, homeboy.
Ugh.
Why did we like this?
It's
Why
amazing.
did we like Bart Simpson?
It's
like The Simpsons, like Bart Simpson's not the good character, right? Like we don't like him in the show, right?
No.
Okay.
It's astounding that The Simpsons lasted long enough to become great.
Yeah.
Because those first 2 seasons, it was just the novelty of a cartoon for adults.
Right. Yeah. I know. In the time period when shows are just, there's a million shows all waiting to be aired, they made it long enough to get good.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Simpsons.
Have you tried watching that first season of The Simpsons?
Yeah, like every once in a while I'll go, I need to watch all of The Simpsons. So I'll start from the beginning and then I stop.
Okay.
Because it's such a drag to get through the first season, and I don't.
Maybe start on season 3.
Well, I have OCD when it comes to this. Like, I can't. I have to watch all of it. It's stupid. It's dumb and stupid. It is. But who cares? Leave me alone.
Well, you apparently, because you can't get to the good ones. It's just like, hey boy, I'm going to murder you.
I know. Why did Homer have hot dog mouth? Like why was his mouth filled
with food? For milkshakes. Well, he said he was doing a Walter Matthau impression.
Okay.
And then he just did it and he was like, oh, I can't just do this if the show is going to go this long.
Bart Simpson. It is so bad.
It sounds like a teen doing like a 101 impressions in 5 minutes YouTube. Hey, that's me, Homer Simpson, dog.
And I'm Bart Simpson, man.
Oh, the boy ain't right.
Homie. Hey, Mo. I'm nailing these.
I'm glad everyone's turned this off by now.
Shall we go to the next one?
I think
we've dwelled on.
Yeah, I think we've nailed it.
I think we got that out of the way, so you can turn off now. This next part is going to be just dreadful.
It's going to be 10 minutes long.
Yes.
I'm kind of fascinated by this special in a larger picture. I have a hot take on this special.
Let's hear it. Michael Jackson's Halloween from the year 2017.
The special itself, I feel like we can speed through what actually happens in this special because it will take 3 minutes to explain.
So,
do you want me to do it?
It doesn't matter. Just do it.
There's no reason why anyone should watch this. So here's what I'll say. This was one of the last projects that Michael Jackson was working on. Apparently, he had a meeting about this Halloween special the day before he died.
Oh, okay.
And I think that is maybe one reason why this was pushed through, because it was like, well, it was the last thing he was working on. Let's see it through.
Yeah.
It is titled Michael Jackson's Halloween and makes the very curious choice to not have Michael Jackson talk at all and barely appear in it. It is wall-to-wall scored with his music.
Yes.
And occasionally there will be dance numbers where people dance like Michael Jackson.
He does say something in the end, but not the you don't see the character saying it. You hear it. You hear his voice kind of.
Oh, well, I feel like you're supposed to be listening to your heart, but we'll get to that. We have 2 generic. This is CGI animation. I will say I like this animation more than your run-of-the-mill TV CGI because they are kind of going at this weird lower frame rate. So everyone
It's
kind of
weird.
it looks like stop animation.
That's what I was going to say. Like the dance sequence at the end, it looks like claymation.
Yes, and I think it works better because
I hated that.
Oh, I think it works more because TV CGI, because they're making it so quickly, it's too smooth. It's like it's too just, there's no weight to it.
To me, if it was intentional, then I like it.
It's definitely intentional. You don't just do this by accident.
Do you think that they're trying to kind of mimic a
Rankin Bass? I absolutely think
well,
that.
if that's really the intention, I don't buy it. But if it is, then I like it more. But otherwise, I just thought this is jerky.
It has to be the intention because there's no reason to do this. It takes more effort to do the animation like this than just using typical render where you just kind of like it goes from point A to point B. You wouldn't be taking frames out.
Yeah. By the way, the main characters.
Yeah.
There's a white kid. They're kind of, are they teens or are they young adults? They're young adults, right?
I believe they are supposed to be teens who have the voices and mannerisms of 26-year-olds.
Yeah, but they're working these crappy jobs.
I worked crappy jobs when I was 26.
That's what I mean. They are adults. They're like young adults.
You think they're supposed to be young adults?
Only because they're both working crappy jobs. They're supposed to really be following their dreams.
Right, but one is an intern and one's working for his dad.
Right,
I think they're supposed to
mean.
be 19.
Yeah. Out of high school is what I'm trying to say.
Well, okay, by 1 year.
Now, right.
They sound too old, is my point.
And the kid looks a lot like one of the people from the documentary, I have to say.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate.
I don't know if he was if Michael Jackson was there for the character designs or.
Oh, that was that last meeting.
Yeah,
make him look more like him.
I don't want
now
this to get cut.
Now we're cooking with gas.
I don't want this to get cut. But he
this
looks
is my
a lot
last wish. If anything happens to me, make sure these character designs stay locked. Don't change it.
Your MJ is uncanny. It spooked me out.
Oh, okay. So the two leads are two irritating generic leads. One is an intern in a factory, and we never learn what it does, but it's very bland. And our hero,
the other one is a box boy in
his dad's grocery store,
and that actually pays off.
But he dreams of being a DJ, and his father very reasonably says, "Don't have that dream."
Yeah.
And the young woman wants to be a dancer. And this is a universe where, much like everything that Michael Jackson ever produced, everyone in this universe is obsessed with Michael Jackson. They both have Michael Jackson shirts on. He scratches Michael Jackson records. She is dancing with Michael Jackson in her iPod.
Is everything in Michael Jackson's filmography about how people are super fans of him?
Yes, that is the plot of Moonwalker. That's the plan of almost all. I think it's all his videos, right?
Everything, right?
Yeah. It's how Michael Jackson
Captain
is this,
EO.
but he's the hero who brings like light and dance to the universe, which is basically the plot of this. Our heroes. Oh man, this is dream logic. In this universe, Michael Jackson is chauffeured around in a limousine by his chimp Bubbles.
Yep. Voiced by Brad Garrett.
That's right, Raymond. And
God,
I'm feeling him
on fire.
That was an audio clip I played from the show.
Okay, that's why I was wondering. Or do we have a soundboard connected?
Did you know that Bubbles is still alive?
I hadn't gotten around to that Vice article.
I had heard that Bubbles had like died of neglect, but he's fine. He's living in a sanctuary. He's doing great. He's very old.
Has anyone asked him about the allegations? I'll just say it again.
I don't know, but like Jackson's such a fan of people sleeping in his bed, I guess the maids would complain because Bubbles lived in a cage in his room, but he would often sleep in Jackson's bed and just poop all over it.
Jeez. I would not. Okay. Bubbles is still a wild animal. Like, he could have just woke up and like, just been like, okay, today's the day.
Well,
I rip your arm off.
That is why he was given to an animal sanctuary during Jackson's life, because he reached an age where somebody who had some kind of sway over Michael Jackson's mind said, you can't keep him here anymore. Oh, I know why it was, because he had a baby in the house.
Oh,
and they said, he's going to kill this baby.
Yes. It's time to, you got to choose.
Yeah, he's not going to be Blanket. He's going to be Rags.
Yeah, so
did you hear me?
I did. I'm trying to get past it so fast.
He ain't going to be Blanket. He's going to be Rags. He's going to tear him up.
Love it. Yeah.
Tear him up into rags.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Bubbles driving. He has a magic mansion he lives in. He steals these kids to his mansion.
He transforms into a bat so he can steal the kids into his mansion.
Yeah.
His castle, his Nightmare Before Christmas castle.
And by the way, that is the correct way to say that he trapped these kids. He steals them into his mansion. There's no other word for it. And so then they're in this mansion. And so the premise is that Michael Jackson is going to teach these kids how to follow their dreams. And what follows is a series of events where nothing like that is being taught.
This is my least favorite kind of kids special because it could be described as things happen.
No, it is.
There's no bearing. It's just like, then this happens. Then they meet a pumpkin guy. Then they meet. It's kind of the Wizard of Oz if the Wizard of Oz was devoid of charm and plot.
But he doesn't like. So let's just jump the spoiler alert. At the end, he says, "So remember, kids, always follow your dreams." Like basically is what he says.
Yes.
But nothing they did in the thing like would have taught them like an aspect of how to follow your dreams. Mostly it taught them how to run away from stuff.
If you're a fan of hearing voice actors yell,
oh boy,
there's a lot of Wah!
And if you are wondering, and I know a lot of you are, yes, Jim Parsons is in this.
Oh, that's right. Bazinga himself.
I'm joking. I don't love him, but his voice is perfect for like a holiday special.
I would say
it's really well.
I would say he is the best actor in this.
Absolutely.
Alan Cumming is in this. Lucy Liu plays a Wicked Witch style villain called Conformity, who hates dance and music.
God, she is so bad.
Not great.
Lucy Liu.
Yes.
And did they ever say why this evil villain hates music and dancing? Or is it just literally like, why are you doing that? I hate it.
It's very strange because whenever Michael Jackson creates this castle, he opens a suitcase and the castle comes out. And apparently he's going from town to town teaching the local children about the power of music or your heart or whatever.
Kidnapping children.
So in this universe...
He was in this meeting for a long time.
In this universe that he creates, there is also this villain in the universe, I guess, every time.
Right. He creates the evil. Unless, I don't know, unless the evil is... Yeah, because the mansion... Does the mansion... Oh, this is so confusing now. God, this stupid show. Yeah, no, you're right. He creates all these situations. He creates the thing, and then he beats it. So it's like he created his own evil villain.
He conquers evil. He doesn't beat it.
Yeah, no,
he doesn't sing "beat it."
It was a pun. It was,
sorry,
or whatever.
He heals the world.
Yeah, he earth songs it. The worst name for a song ever, by the way. Come on, right? You're right. He creates this world, and then he saves the world from the thing he created.
Yeah, it's a lot like the angel Lucifer.
Yes.
Right?
Lots of religious allegory.
Well, now we're getting to my hot take. My hot take on this is that everything that Michael Jackson created with a separate story like Moonwalker or this, he is a Christ figure, not just like in that big like hero's journey story, universal story type of way, but he is literally the savior of the universe who people come to and all good emits from. And in this Halloween special, like there is a moment where they are in what looks like a church, except the stained glass is the Dangerous album cover.
By the way, these kids are super MJ fans, and they never mention him. Like, there's his silhouettes everywhere. There's his music is everywhere, but no one ever says, "Oh my God, this is Michael Jackson music. This is Michael Jackson.
This is his house." Clearly,
yeah. No one says anything about it. They don't even remark about the glass window, where it is definitely.
Well, every wallpaper has his silhouette on it. Every doorway has him like making a big cross sign.
The main character has an MJ shirt on, and he never makes any link. Yeah,
they both have Michael Jackson. That's what I'm saying. And the fact that this was made in 2017, it's too much. No teen is this kind of super fan. It's very embarrassing.
I kept thinking, who is the target audience for this?
Apparently, this special did really well because they played it again. Yes, it like won the weekend. I think he had just died, so people kind of watched it out of curiosity. Then they played it again, and nobody watched it. So I think they learned their lesson.
So he's. I mean, a couple of things I wanted to point out that the kids like there's three like characters they meet. There's the Scarecrow character.
Yes.
Who does a whole dance like Michael Jackson. There's this French general spider.
Yeah.
He's dressed up like a French general, and he has this army of ants.
Yeah. Alan Cumming.
And then there's this mad scientist cat who is played by Dietrich Bader.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like like a Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. Not the monster.
Well, his name is
the Doctor.
Franklinstein.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
Yes, it is. It's Franklinstein.
Okay. And then each of them give the kids their soul in a jar or something.
They have like these
key?
It looks like a key with sort of a graphic of them on it, and it is I believe their heart or it's essentially their soul, but it's like their creative spirit, I think.
And
their spark.
When the kids meet them, each character is supposed to stop the kids from liking music and dance, but they end up actually fighting against conformity, because they actually secretly like music and dance. But so they get to the end, and there's this special machine that the cat scientist makes that is supposed to hurt these kids or something. But instead, they end up, like in all science fiction things, they reverse the polarity of this machine.
Yeah.
Which what is polarity?
It's what makes the thing do the thing. And you just make it do different.
It's always being reversed to solve problems on TV and movies.
Well, it's like how we were going to fly planes around the hurricane in an opposite direction to make it go away. Reversing polarity.
Right. Yeah.
Trump watched this special.
He's like, hey, what? This is my Trump.
Hey, forget about it.
Yeah.
We're going to reverse the polarity.
Why can't we reverse the polarity of cancer? I don't know. So those characters, like all of these three, so they throw their souls, they're like these little keys, into the machine when they reverse the polarity, and then this machine saves the day, and it like summons Michael Jackson.
Well,
so my question is, so is each character supposed to be a part of Michael Jackson? So like the Scarecrow is the dancer and the body frame of Michael Jackson because he looks really thin. He's like, his body dances like him. Mm-hmm. And then the cat is like the mad genius
music.
And then the French general spider, is that his fashion sense? Because he wears epaulets or whatever, like whatever the things on the edge of your shoulders are.
And when they summon Michael Jackson, what is it?
It's Thriller Mike, the best Michael Jackson, right?
Well, it's also three beings coming into one, the savior of the universe.
Yeah, that's
Father,
right.
Son, Holy Spirit, baby.
The Trinity.
They come in.
That's
Yes.
definitely his peak in terms of look, right?
Yes, that is whenever people agreed we can fall in love with Michael Jackson. He looks like this charming boy.
So this is what I keep wondering after watching the documentary and all that stuff. Was he doing anything then to kids? Like, when did this start? Was he doing it when he was part of the Jackson 5 and stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously,
I think it was being done to him when he was in the Jackson 5.
Sure. But so then he grows up and just thinks, but does he do anything during Off the Wall?
I don't know.
Because you don't
know.
just become.
I can't answer that.
There's got to be some. Maybe not. Maybe it started when.
Maybe there's pictures of him with the guy who played Webster.
Yeah, but he was an adult then, wasn't he? Like, hasn't that guy always been an adult? I don't know.
Wait, or you think of it? Was Webster the person who had a growth deficiency, or they did?
Yeah, he was like, I think, a teenager when he played like an 8-year-old or something.
Okay, well, what about Gary Coleman?
Gary Coleman has a growth deficiency too, but I don't think it's the exact same.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know. I don't really know, but
Why do I think that one was a kid and one had a growth deficiency?
no, they both, I think, had growth issues.
Okay, not a deficiency.
We can look it up.
They're
but
both very tall.
I feel like, yeah, I wonder like when it would have started.
Who knows? Probably, if I were to guess, probably not until he was at a level of riches and separation from the world that it became valid in his mind.
Yeah.
That is my totally uninformed
Lewis had a
guess.
strong friendship, Emmanuel Lewis Webster, with Michael Jackson for several years. The friendship was first seen in 1984. This may be... He stayed with Michael Jackson for a few months until he was feeling better after the Pepsi commercial hair fire incident. He even allowed him to appear on stage with him during the Victory Tour. All right, I'm thinking it may have started a little earlier. So he was born in 82. Or no, I'm sorry. He was born in 71. He was born in 71.
Whoa.
So,
Okay. He was a kid.
If the show was in, when was the show? 83. So yeah, he was like whatever age, 12 or something. Yeah, I guess he was a kid. So, but he was a 12-year-old playing a young boy, though, for sure.
He was playing 8 or something, right?
So technically, I was right. Oh, by the way, he's known as a singer and released 2 singles. Of course, guess where?
On Jackson's label?
No. What country?
Japan.
That's right. All the 80s sitcom stars released an album in Japan.
What were the names of the songs?
His song was called City Connection, reached number 2 on the Oricon chart.
Does that mean sitcom singer?
Let's see. Oricon. Kabushiki Geisha Oricon. Oh, God, I don't know. Original Confidence is what it started as. Original Confidence Incorporated, and they shorted it to Oricon, as the Japanese are wont to do.
Okay. God, I can't wait. I'm going to Japan soon. I can't wait to not have any idea what anything is about.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Yeah, so maybe it did start earlier. At least his thinkings about it.
So this special ends with a lot of dancing to Thriller. Almost the whole song of Thriller. What seems like twice.
And it's some like weird like drum and bass remix or something.
There's a little bit of remix. I think it's the History remix, but the really strange thing is Michael Jackson doesn't sing the song. As in the CGI character we're looking at isn't mouthing the words. He's just dancing along like a weird robot.
Yeah, he's like the robot from Moonwalker.
Yeah. Also, in animation, like watching a group of humans perform in sync choreography is very impressive. When you're watching a CGI cartoon where you've just copy and pasted the same moves onto everybody, it looks like bad animation.
Oh, it's horrible. It looks like wallpaper.
It's the dancing baby.
Yes.
With copy paste.
Yeah, it's bad. It looks like someone's like Android wallpaper, like some like 50-year-old who, like, when you look at their text message screen, like, and they've changed all the fonts and the bubbles. They found some program and it's just like everything's a GIF.
Oh, by the way, everything they do pays off because the machine runs on the boy using his DJ skills, and the girl dances around.
Yeah, they become a famous DJ and dance team.
Yep, one of those famous DJ dance teams.
And what I forgot to say was the payoff. They get caught by the spiders and they're stuck in a web, and all of a sudden he has a razor blade, a box cutter.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, where did he get this box cutter from? It's like, oh yeah, it pays off because he was a box boy at his dad's grocery store. So this wasn't all bad.
So it's a good cartoon.
Yeah. So therefore, yeah. And then it ends with my favorite. Oh, it ends with the fastest credits, by the way. It was like, boom, boom, boom.
I think I got whiplash looking at them.
It's like when you watch a movie for like a televised movie, and they move the credits down to the bottom and then show commercials, and those credits are just zooming by. But this is like their normal credits. And then it ends with one of my favorite production cards, that like Michael Jackson's legs in the like tippy toes with the lines coming off. I freaking love that. And I used to have a shirt like that, and I had to get rid of it because of this stupid guy.
Oh, you didn't eBay it?
No, I wasn't gonna profit off the misfortune of.
Oh, brother, what a sucker!
I paid for my rent for a whole year.
Well, the series also, before the credits, you forgot to say that Bubbles repacks up the mansion.
Oh, that's right.
And he goes, "Where to next, boss?" Because they're gonna go help out children in another town. And I did need to bring up Bubbles again because I just looked it up. I knew there was something on the Wikipedia about Bubbles I wanted to read to you. First of all, Bubbles used Michael Jackson's personal toilet. This is a detail. I wouldn't be able to do that. I would not be able to do it. At Jackson's 2000-
And he used his bed as his personal toilet.
That's right. Well, bad news about what they mean by his personal toilet.
Yeah. Oh, no. They both just pissed and shit the bed. That's what the maid was talking about.
At Jackson's 2005 trial, I'm reading right now, jurors learned from a videotaped interview with Jackson that his chimpanzee would help him with housekeeping chores. They run around, help me clean the room. They help me dust, clean the window, Jackson stated. Jackson's housekeepers testified that he disapproved of the chimpanzee behavior.
Which means he didn't help. He probably went around and just smashed up the windows, and Jackson laughed, and then they're like, we gotta freaking clean another window up. God, this freaking...
Here's how you know that that's a lie. When is Michael Jackson dusting?
I know. He has a little French...
When would he ever clean his own room?
Oh my gosh. Raymond.
Raymond?
Hold on. Let's right now have a Brad Garrett off.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you go first.
Well, you go first.
Okay, hold on. I have to prepare. Okay, ready? Me. All right. Raymond.
I'm going to turn that blanket into rags.
Why use that?
Jeez.
Gosh. Why use that toilet when you could use this bed? I don't know why all of my impressions are New York based.
Oh.
Hey, come on. All right, sorry guys. And I think we can end it.
And with that last listener turning it off. Bye.